Hello fellow writers and welcome to another video. I think this is the first writing themed video since the relaunch of my channel, so yay! I'm Stace and I thought it would be fun to go through today what I consider to be my writing essentials, and I would love to know what yours are too in the comments because it's super interesting knowing how other people work. Let's go! So I consider my writing essentials to be all the things I use or need to make up and assist my personal tailored writing process. And through recording this video, I've discovered that I in fact have 8 of them, starting with 1. A writing schedule. Getting on a writing schedule for me was one of the best things I ever did for my writing. A period of time set aside where I tell myself that my only focus will be writing. For me, that's between 6 and 8 a.m. on weekday mornings and sometimes a little bit over the weekend if I have time and I'm feeling like putting some extra work in. But I usually leave my weekends free. I know my schedule, but I keep track of it using my Passion Planner just so I can record word counts and look back on my progress over time. Number 2 is a decent pen. Papermate Inkjoy gel pens or the Papermate Inkjoy ballpoint pens are my preference. I handwrite all of my planning and these pens are probably my favourite so far. The gel pens especially are really comfy and smooth to use, but depending on the notebook I can't always use them if the pages are a little bit too thin. But the ballpoint versions are a super comfy alternative. Next we have a project notebook for planning and all future thoughts about a project. Usually I just use Tesco's actually, which is a supermarket here in the UK. They have a range of hardcover notebooks for £6 each in a range of colours. Nothing complicated. They have a ribbon bookmark which is used, makes it really easy to mark your place or where you got up to. And as soon as I believe that a project has enough potential to become something that I want to work on and expand into a novella or a novel, I assign a notebook to it and write down my initial ideas. I also put my thoughts about edits and my plans for taking in beta feedback in these books too, so each one of them is a little companion throughout the entire project. I write down all of my character development in here and the rough first draft of the outline, and here are my current existing project notebooks. And this one is the one for the project that I'm currently working on. My next essential is a comfy place to work. Until very recently, this used to be the sofa downstairs, but now I have a new productivity space in my office that's separate from my work desk. I don't really have any background noise or anything, I just try and focus, and I'm the kind of person who likes to keep it simple. The more requirements that I set myself as needing to be able to write, then the smaller the circumstances within which I can write would become. I can also write in busy cafes if needed, so long as I'm seated in a comfy way with a place to work. Next is a laptop to work on. This seems somewhat of a given these days, everyone seems to have some kind of device, but I prefer typing to handwriting now because it's faster and makes backing up and copying projects a lot easier. When I was younger, I did used to handwrite novels, but not now. A laptop is my preference for this, though I know some folks write on desktop computers, tablets, or even phones. Laptops for writing don't even have to be that expensive. I've had laptops from all over the price ranges, including refurbished ones, and only very recently got myself a high performance one. I also prefer writing on an external keyboard instead of the laptop itself when I'm sitting at a desk. My next essential is a hard drive to work from. This is something I started doing years ago when I realised that my laptop was starting to die and I got a blue screen one day and it was really difficult to get it to boot back up and rescue my projects off of that laptop. I ordered a hard drive pretty much the next day to act as a conduit between my work and the laptop in case that ever happened again. So now I work directly from a hard drive and I back up to my desktop after every 5 chapters and then again at the end of a draft. My next super essential, I'm going to call this one, is Scrivener. I've used Scrivener probably for about 8 years. It's a word processing program designed with large projects in mind, and honestly, I barely even scratched the surface of its available features. I use it in such a simple way, but it's capable of so many things. And when I originally bought it, it really wasn't that expensive or widely known, which just shows my age, really. But I don't think it was more than £30 when I originally bought it, but now it costs around £50, I think. It's a shame that the price has gone up so much, but I do believe it's worth the one-time purchase over something like paying a subscription for Microsoft Office. I tend to use LibreOffice as my, Office suite, which is free, and when I export things from Scrivener, LibreOffice is perfect because it's compatible with Microsoft Word files. But that said, Scrivener can export into a huge range of file formats, everything from plain Word docs all the way up to fully formatted ebooks. Recently, I upgraded to their new version, which is Scrivener 3, and here's a quick look at how my Scrivener is set up for a project. I have the planning and the draft in separate folders, and then in the draft folder I put each chapter in its own text file. This helps with a ton of things. It stops me tempting me to read back and edit after I've finished a chapter during draft 1. It makes editing far easier because I can just move the chapters around like a jigsaw to reflect my edits and slot new ones in between 2. And it means I can back up chunks of my 5 chapters at a time really easily and create backups of any selection of text documents from within the project in any combination whenever I want. And my last one is backup devices. As well as my hard drive, I have 2 individual USB sticks. I do major backups at the end of every draft and then again at the end of each project when it's complete. And that is pretty much it. These are my writing essentials. Please tell me what yours are because I would love to know how different they are from mine. Thank you for joining me for this video. I hope that you and whatever projects you're working on are going well, and I will see you on the next one. Bye!